Hello strangers, it's Mrs. Strange once again. On today's episode of Stranger Universe, I will share with you all my list of personal predictions for Stranger Things 4. Before we start, please like, share, and subscribe for more great Stranger Things content. Turn on notifications to never miss another Stranger Universe video again. Help get this video to 100 views and likes if you really want to see us release more Stranger Universe videos like this one. Please share this video on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, and other social media platforms to help fans and viewers find this great Stranger Things content. And now let's begin. As we wait for more set pictures and leaks to arrive from the set, I will break away from the formula and reveal some of the predictions that I have for this next season of Stranger Things. These are just my personal speculation based on news and facts that we know from Season 4, as well as educated guesses based on what we are seeing from the current set pictures and leaks. None of these are actual spoilers, but there could be a chance that one of these ends up being correct in the final product or close to correct. So here are my top 10 predictions for Stranger Things 4. 10. Dr. Brenner returns. I don't even know if this is a shocking revelation anymore, but since we never saw him actually die in the first place, we can't rule out a return for Matthew Modine. One big reason to anticipate a comeback: a possible connection with the Russians, who have captured Hopper and in Season 3 displayed their interest in the Upside Down. No direct connection has been made known. But how else would they have found out about the entrance into the great unknown? Maybe Brenner is working with them, and with rumors that Season 4 will be a setup for Season 5, it makes sense for him to show up in the climax of Season 4 and reveal him as the antagonist for the final season. But Dr. Brenner returning, even for a temporary visit, makes a good deal of sense. For a character as big as Brenner, they would want to keep his return under wraps and away from being spoiled until the season comes out. 9. It will release in late 2021. I previously made a release date video, which you should check it out here, where I talked about the possibilities of when the season will release based on a set picture that showed the date, November 17th. However, even without that picture, the likelihood of this coming out around that time was already high, with Harper saying that this was supposed to come out in early 2021 and this show having a 6-month delay in its production period. This should come out in the latter half of the year, between July and December. However, with production for Stranger Things usually being between 6 and 7 months, and with both the increasing budget and COVID restrictions probably pushing this to 8 months, it's going to take longer, so I don't really think that it will release on July or August like some people are hoping. Anywhere from September to December is when we should see it. 8. Chernobyl will be involved somehow. Season 2 was set in the fall of 1984 while Season 3 was set in the summer of 1985. With Season 4 practically confirmed for 1986, the set photos seem to suggest that it could take place in spring. And you want to know what happened in the spring of 1986? Only the world's worst ever nuclear disaster at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant in Ukraine. The subject matter of a critically acclaimed and popular HBO miniseries from 2019. The radioactive disaster impacted the world that year, and especially Russia, which is where Hopper is currently located at. Many fans have theorized that with all the Russian involvement in the series, the show could potentially focus on the nuclear meltdown. We recently made a video of it, which you can check it out here. 7. Eleven gets her powers back. At the end of the season, Eleven's powers stop working after the major battle with the Mind Flayer at the cabin. Eleven is bitten by the monster, and he starts to work its way around her leg as it grows. She uses her powers to remove the part of the monster, and then they stop working after that. In Stranger Things 4, I expect Eleven will get a taste of life without powers and realize the struggle. It'll also probably be a breath of fresh air for her, as well. It'll be a blessing in disguise by the time her powers come back, and I do believe that's what will happen. Every time Eleven tries to use her powers, it's apparent that her powers are there. Something happens each time, but it's not even close to as strong as it is when she's at full strength. To me, that means the power is still there. She just needs to learn how to access it again. Watch for this to be a very important development in the new season. 6. The party will be divided. We watched Will and Eleven leave Hawkins at the end of Stranger Things 3. Truthfully, there were cracks in the party showing much earlier, though. Mike and Eleven were hanging out all the time, as were Max and Lucas. Dustin was at science camp, and it didn't look like they really missed him all that much when he got back. I think we all know this happens growing up. Your friends from childhood might not continue to be your best friends as you get older. It will be interesting to see how their high school journeys will go in the immediate future, but I think it's clear that their relationships will change. They may start new activities, make new friends, and go their separate ways to a certain extent in the new season. Lucas is also rumored to be in basketball, and as a result, he will be popular. 5. Joyce and Murray will rescue Hopper. Of all the burning questions surrounding Season 4, how Hopper will factor in certainly tops the list. And if Hopper isn't able to put word out that he's alive and well, perhaps a conspiracy theorist of sorts will read between the lines. Brett Gelman's Murray Bauman has played an important role in the series, and it is confirmed that he will have an even larger role in Stranger Things next season since the actor was upgraded to a series regular. If there's one person who might have the chops to uncover the mystery, it's the former Chicago Sun-Times journalist and private investigator. It feels a bit far-fetched for the kids of Hawkins to venture to Russia to save Hopper, all the plane tickets and time off school. But Murray could very well book his own trip there. But first, he'll team up with Joyce Byers, who he has been contacting for quite a while according to a phone call Easter egg. 4. Time travel will most likely be involved. On the wackier end of the scale, it is very possible that traveling through the time and space continuum is the next logical step for the series. Hopper's letter to Eleven referenced turning back the clock. The show also spent a suspiciously large amount of time talking about Back to the Future in the third season. Not to mention that both the official announcement for Season 4 had a clock in the background, and of course, the background of the image that the crew shared announcing the return to production features an imposing grandfather clock shrouded in darkness, presumably from a sequence taking place in the Upside Down. While the series has featured plenty of references and callbacks to iconic 80s films, the series still hasn't tackled the classic science fiction trope of time travel. Some fans are already convinced the seemingly innocuous numbers on the clapperboard could be a cryptic clue hinting towards some scenes taking place in the past. Could Season 4 feature the gang going backwards in time to save Jim Hopper and bring balance back to the town of Hawkins? 3. Number 1 will finally be revealed. Now, I am going to put a slight spoiler warning since this will have to do with set photos and the character breakdowns from a while back. Once again, spoiler warning. So, I have the suspicion that the new character, Ash, who will reportedly be a series regular and return in Season 5, is test subject number 1, the original experiment from Hawkins' lab. My reasons being that we know for a fact that Nancy and Robin are confirmed to team up in Season 4 for a storyline involving Penhurst Mental Hospital. In it, we're going to be introduced to Ash, since his audition tape has him being a patient at this institute. It is unknown if he has any connections to the Upside Down or if he even has abilities at all. But what kind of character with this description gets introduced with a major role that will also be back next season? It seems to me that the series will set him up to be a major antagonist. I think that Ash will be the main villain for the Hawkins plot and will cause the gang to get the help of Eleven, and maybe the finale will be a test subject fight between numbers 1 and 11. 2. Steve and Murray will die. With such a huge cast, the Titanic fandom of Stranger Things all have their favorite characters in the show, and with an even larger cast being in the plans for Season 4, one has to wonder if we'll be saying goodbye to a couple of characters already. Right now, I place my bets on those characters being Steve and Murray. To start off with a smaller character, there is most likely going to be a scenario where Murray sacrifices himself to save Hopper and Joyce, and back on the mainland, he will be remembered as an American hero. But on the other hand, Steve is also a very likely candidate to die as well. Steve has arguably the largest story arc in the show, as he started out the show as a bully, picking on Jonathan Byers and breaking his camera, before turning into the babysitter mom that we all have come to love. His death, probably in some kind of final sacrifice for his friends, would be a huge gut punch after all the development we've seen for him. With 3 seasons under their belt, the show is facing the risk of becoming monotonous, unless the producers do something dramatic to shake things up. The death of Steve, a protagonist with the biggest redemption arc of all time, could do the trick provided that it is done correctly. With the death of Steve in Stranger Things 4, it will not only break the monotony of the danger, but also give the writers a chance to explore the relationships of the remaining characters a little better. 1. The biggest TV show of 2021. I remember clearly when The Walking Dead used to rule on cable TV, and soon after that, Game of Thrones ruled the world during its last couple of seasons, even if the finale was a major disappointment. But now, as it came to an end, the question lingered on many minds. What is the next big TV phenomenon? I very well think that next major event series is Stranger Things on Netflix. The 3rd season alone was the most viewed TV season on the streaming service in 2019, with a whopping 64 million households. And 40 million of those saw the season on its release weekend on the 4th of July. Nearly every cast interview has millions of views on YouTube. The trailer for Stranger Things 3 was the most viewed trailer for a TV show, second to only the trailer for the last season of Game of Thrones, which also came out in the same month as that trailer. Both trailers generated YouTube and social media views that you only see for movies like Avengers, Infinity War and Endgame. Unlike Game of Thrones, the trailer for Stranger Things 3 generated well over 1 million likes, which is something that you only see for the aforementioned movies and other major event blockbuster films like The Lion King and Spider-Man: Far From Home. This makes me confident that once Stranger Things 4 comes out next year, it will be a television event and will break streaming records for Netflix. And you can sure bet on it ruling the world for the next couple years until the show ends. And that is all that we have for today. What do you think about my predictions? Don't forget that Stranger Universe is on both Twitter and Instagram. Follow us at STR Universe to stay updated with us every day. Let us know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, don't forget to turn on notifications to never miss another Stranger Universe video again. Help get this video to 100 views and likes if you really want to see us release more Stranger Universe videos like this one. Please share this video on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, and other social media platforms to help fans and viewers find this great Stranger Things content. I am Mrs. Strange, and this is Stranger Universe.